Hi, this is Monisha Jaising and welcome back to Behind the Seams. In this episode, I shall be sharing with you the part 2 of pattern construction. I shall show you how to create a basic sleeve block and a basic skirt block. Let me first start by starting with a skirt block. After having drawn the two axes, the x-axis becomes the waistline and the y-axis becomes the center front line. Followed by this, we need to draw the hip line, which is parallel to the x-axis. The hip line is usually 8 inches below the natural waistline. The formula to calculate the accurate measurement is hip round divided by 4 minus the belt width. On the hip line, mark the maximum dimension by dividing the hip round by 4 plus adding ½ inch for ease. Now extend a line that is perpendicular to the hip line from that point. Now, on the waistline, feed the measurement. Waist round divided by 4 plus a 0.25 inch for ease plus a 0.75 inch for the dart quantity. From this point, go 3/8 of an inch perpendicularly upwards. Mark the apex to apex point on the waistline, then extend it until the end of the block. This becomes the dart line. Now on this dart line, go 2.75 inch lower, which marks the length of the dart. At the same time, mark the width of the dart, which is ½ inches on either side of the dart line. Now draw the dart legs. Use the French curves to curve the waistline of the skirt block and the side seam at the hip to complete the block. Refer to your measurement chart for the length of the skirt. Then from the waist point, measure the length as desired. So this is my basic skirt block. Creating a sleeve block. The X and Y axis firstly intersect at the center front line of the sleeve, which can also be termed as the on-fold line of the sleeve draft. On the Y axis, mark the sleeve length as desired. The next measurement on the Y axis is a sleeve cap height, which is calculated as the armhole divided by 4. Draw a perpendicular line at this point parallel to the x-axis. From the 0 intersection point, draw an angular line which intersects at the perpendicular line, making the measurement of half of the armhole. Mark these 2 points on either side of the center front line. Now, at the full length point, draw another perpendicular line and mark the wrist round. On the y-axis, mark the elbow line, which is the midpoint between the wrist line and the armhole line, minus 1 inch. Draw a perpendicular line at this point. Now join all the points to make a wireframe of the draft. Let's begin with the curves of the armhole. At the cap, divide the 2 legs of the sleeve each into 3 parts. Go ½ inch up from this point and around 3/8 of an inch up from the other 2 points. Now let's shape the curves at the cap of the sleeve with the French curves. On the elbow line, go ½ inch inside from both sides to get the side seam curve of the sleeve. There we go. This is the basic sleeve block. I will now share with you the slash and spread method. This is the method often used by all designers to create volume. Let me start by sharing with you the method on my sleeve pattern. This method is used for various sleeve shapes to achieve a nice flare. One of the sleeves that we are going to learn today is a puff short sleeve. You can slash the sleeve 4 or 4.5 inches below the armhole line for a short cap sleeve length. Draw parallel lines to the center front line on this block. Since we want the flare on the sleeve cap, we need to keep the hemline at place. At the same time, keep shifting the block from the cap of the sleeve and mark these points on a fresh paper. We now need to slash all the lines. We now go 1 inch above the sleeve cap and reshape the cap of the sleeve. We now have the perfect puff sleeve created from a basic sleeve draft. Now, using the same principles of slash and spread, we can create volume on a skirt, on a trouser, on just about anything. Here we have volume on the skirt pattern just by creating these slashes and spreading. So follow all these steps and techniques to create that perfect paper pattern.